first step will be to remove the player from your Miracle. So you're going to just disconnect the audio connection and the power charging cable. Charging audio cable is here on the bottom, and the charging cord is here on the left. And then you can just lift your player up with the stand. You can keep it all attached. The next step is to grab one of your USB cables. I'm going to take the one on the right side with the red dot. This is the one that charges your player. Now go ahead and grab the cable out of the USB adapter, the big end. Now we're just going to connect that cable into the side of the player directly. Small end red dot to red dot here. And after we get this connected in, we'll move on to the next step. This next step, we're going to launch the Voice Code Cloud Sound Therapy app. Go ahead and log in, and we're going to do a quick voice code. If you haven't installed the app, check the links below for instructions, and you will just launch it, log in. We're going to do a vowel voice code, and I'm going to do this a little bit quick because many of you have probably already done this. I don't want to slow down the step-by-step here, but you'll record your voice sample, and you'll go ahead and upload it. You'll pick a mix and then click on Create Voice Code. Now I'm going to fast forward this video to increase the speed here. This will normally take a couple of minutes for this to complete, and then you will see a track come into your player here. Once your download starts, it'll take just another minute more for the app to go ahead and download your audio program. Now a shortcut here, if you swipe from left to right on your audio track in the list, you can resend the email to yourself. That's always handy in case you didn't see the email or you need to get it resent again. Once you open up your email on your Mac, you're going to see two emails from the system. The second one has the links. You're going to use the Wave link, which is the very top one, and you can click on it. Certain browsers are going to download this automatically, like Firefox. Most people have Safari as their default browser, and so I'll show you what that looks like. Once your link opens with Safari, you're going to get a little player screen here. So we need to download. If I click into a blank area here on the player, I can control click and do a save video as. Or it could be save link as, it depends on which version you have. And then it's going to ask you to save for a location and also to give it a title so you can rename this. If you do rename this, I usually put the date, my name, whether it was a vowel or affirmation. Sometimes I'll write down parts of the affirmation to remind me what it was. And then you also want to make sure that you always save this with .wave at the end if you're using the .wave extension so that it'll play. And then this will take a couple of minutes to download. It's a fairly large file. If I open up the Finder window here, you can see that it's starting to download. I put this into downloads as the default location, which is pretty normal. Most people save to the downloads or the desktop. And we will just wait for this to download and move on to the next step. I moved a little fast earlier. If you don't know how to right click on your Mac, when you hold down the control key and then just do your regular click, it'll actually do a right click, which gives you several other options, including how to save that. Now, I like to open up a new Finder window when I'm dragging and dropping files on the Mac. I think it's really easy. And to do that, just make sure your download is done, and then in the Finder, we're going to go up to File, New Finder Window. And then we can drag and drop between our drives. The Sport Go is the drive you want. It's in the music folder where all of our audios are located. So we can open up the AM here, and then I can just grab my file and drop it in. It was a little fast, but we're going to repeat this a couple times so you can see this. Now this is going to copy. The other option is I can just take this in the single window, hover it over the Sport Go drive, hover over the music folder, and then go ahead and drop it into my next folder. So that's another way that you can copy and paste this using drag and drop. And then just let it go here and it'll copy. And then a third option that we can do is we can do a right click on the file. So I'm going to go back over to my downloads. I'm going to locate this audio and right click, which is control click on a Mac. I'm going to do a copy. And then we'll come back over to our last folder, because I'm putting this in all these 3 folders. I'm going to put this into Deep Sleep, just double clicking in there. And then I'm going to control click and do a paste. So those are 3 different ways of doing the same thing, which is just getting your voice code copied, in this case from my downloads folder over to the Sport Go drive. Just to reiterate, the Sport Go is your player, and inside of the music folder you're going to find all these various folders. We use the voice codes inside the AM and the PM and the Deep Sleep PM. So I just verify that that copy went into each of these folders, just opening them up and checking, make sure that's there. And it looks like it's in all 3, so that's fantastic. And now what we're going to do is just show you how to delete. When you do your new voice code, you're going to go ahead and delete the old one from the previous week, or however long it was before. The first thing you'll probably want to do that's most natural is just drag that audio file into the trash. So I'll just open up my trash and then just drag this in there. You can also control click and do a move to trash. If this is your very first time doing a voice code, of course you're not going to delete any of these, because you're just going to transfer them over to the player. And then the last step when we use the Mac is we always want to eject our drive. And so the Sport Go is our drive name. There's a little up arrow just to the right on Sport Go, and you can click on that to eject it, or you can right click and do eject. Once your drive is ejected, we're going to go ahead and remove the cable from the computer. Now grab your player, we're going to hook it back up onto the Miracle. Just reconnecting this charging cable on the left side. So once that charging cable's back in, we're going to reconnect. Oops. We're going to go ahead and reconnect our audio cable splitter here. And then let's get this playing. If you go into folders and then into music, you can find your audio tracks now, your new voice code inside the list. I can see mine here at the bottom. So I'll tap center key on that to start that playing. And then we're just going to take the last USB cable, plug that back into the red spot on the right. Just reconnecting the last power cable here. So you'll plug that either into your lens vent or your power surge protector that has USB adapters, if you have that model. And everything is back up and running. If you have any questions about putting your voice code onto your Miracle or on Pocket, reach out to us and we'll be happy to help.